This is the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, where each week this brother-sister duo gets together to discuss the box office, latest film and TV scoops, our latest movie or show review, and what we're getting into next. We are your hosts,
Shuro
and Jay.
All right, this week we watched Lilo Stitch, which is a remake of the 2002. I did not realize this movie was out. 2002 movie, also called Lilo and Stitch, and I'm on deck for trivia. Jay, are you ready?
Sure.
All right, so out of all of the actors and voice actors, and are we calling this live action? It is live action.
Yeah, because there's people.
Yeah, it's got that Sonic thing going on where it's like animated animal, but everybody else is live action.
If Lion King and Mufasa had one human in it, I guess it would be live action.
Technically.
Yes, technically.
Ain't no poachers in it.
Right.
So we good. So all the voice casting is new except for one person who was Chris Sanders, who directed the first Lilo and Stitch. However, there is a character in this movie who voiced somebody else in the original. So she's in this movie, but voiced a different character in the original movie.
Okay.
Can you guess which character in the new movie, and can you guess who they voiced in the original?
Which character in the new movie?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna guess Hannah Waddingham.
No.
No.
Nope.
Okay. There weren't very many actresses in this movie
So
except for the new neighbor chick.
Nope, not her either.
Not her.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Was it Nani?
No.
Okay, it couldn't have been Lilu because she wasn't born.
Keep going.
Any other women in this movie?
There's one more.
Tia Carrera?
Yes.
Okay.
So she
original
True Lies
henchwoman.
Yep. She's also in Raising Sun.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm. So she played Mrs. Kikoa in this one. In The Social Worker. Who was she in the original?
Was she the the main lady? I can't remember her name.
In the original?
Yeah.
No. Wait, what do you mean by main lady?
Was she Hannah Wadding's character?
No. Okay.
No?
No. You had to clarify for me because I ain't seen the original. I was like, who is that?
Actresses in the original. Was she Pleaky?
Nope.
No.
You're getting a little warmer though. Kinda. Think more main cast.
Yeah. Was she? Wait. Bubbles was a man.
Yep. Still. Yes.
Jumba was a man.
Mm-hmm. She played a woman.
Okay.
Yes.
Was she Nani in the original?
She was Nani.
Oh, interesting.
Yes,
I didn't know she was Nani in the original.
Original in 2002, like she said.
Okay.
But this character that she played in the new one was the new character.
Yeah, that makes sense why they made this new character so prominent. Because she was Nani.
Yeah, so she was kind of getting the nod. Now, if you don't know how do you say her last name?
Tia, I think it's Carrera.
Carrera? Mm-hmm. Okay. She is from, what we recognize her from is from True Lies.
Yes, she was the chick who Jamie Lee Curtis had to kill.
Yeah, she has been in a bunch of other things. So it's funny that we're like, oh, she's from True Lies. Yeah. But yeah, she was good in True Lies.
When I saw her face, it bothered me because I was like, where do I know you from? But yes. I've only seen her in one thing.
Her filmography is long.
She's been around for a very long time.
She was in High School High.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Wayne's World too. Yeah. She was I also recognize her from Rising Sun.
That's interesting. I looked up her filmography and didn't see Lilo and Stitch anywhere in there.
Oh, it's down.
Which is weird because that would probably be her most successful film. The original Lilo and Stitch?
Not True Lies?
You think True Lies was more popular than Lilo and Stitch?
It depends on who you ask.
I mean, to me, yes. Absolutely.
It depends on who you ask. But her filmography is also so long, you probably would have to keep scrolling.
Also, you know what, though? Lilo and Stitch was a very popular animated cartoon and it had a series for a while, but Nani wasn't like the most popular character.
Okay, fair enough.
So that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, so she, I like that they brought her back. I thought that was pretty cool.
Dude, that's much better than when they did Ming Na Wen in the Mulan remake. Where she was barely in it. And
we want to talk about worse.
The original Mulan.
Listen, that went down at the bottom for me. These
Wasted
Disney remakes.
cameo.
Now we don't mind Disney remakes. We watch the ones we like. Yeah. But that Mulan one,
that wasn't good.
Sacrilegious.
No.
Blasphemy.
How do you fumble Jet Li and Ming Na Wen in the same movie?
I just don't understand. And that movie got like high scores, high ratings. We was in a pandemic, so I think we just happy to see a movie.
There's nothing technically wrong with it. It was boring. It was boring as crap.
Somebody played a clip of Mushu doing stuff, and I was like, this just reminds me that he was not in that remake.
Yeah.
They need to do it over.
I mean, I get it. I get why they didn't have Mushu in there, but I mean, you lost some sauce.
It was a totally different movie.
Hey.
They should have called it like Mulan the prequel.
That's true.
Something.
Yeah.
Anywho, we are on a tangent.
Yeah.
So that is our trivia for Lilo and Stitch.
Right.
Let's get into the rest of the episode.
Welcome, fellow movie buffs. I'm Jay.
I'm Cheryl.
Listen in as we break down movie and TV shows, tell you what's in the plot, and hear if we think you should have watched it when you had the chance.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, I was lights on news this week, like super light, which is fine sometimes. I guess one of the big news, I didn't put this on the thing, but one of the big things that came out that we just talked about last episode was the fact that Marvel will not have a Hall H panel at Comic-Con coming up. And we had a whole 5-minute discussion about Doomsday and Secret Wars and if Marvel's coming to SDCC.
That's sad.
So yeah, people are like bummed about it because people, line up. It's a big thing, but they say they will still have a presence. There's supposed to be a big installation on the floor that is supposed to be geared towards Fantastic Four. So, and they might still do
so it's going to be the Fantastic Car.
Maybe something. They still going to be there at Comic-Con. They're just not doing a panel. So people are also wondering like what's going to fill the gap. That's going to
Galactus.
Life size?
I mean, not life size.
Oh, okay, I was like
6 foot tall Galactus.
Okay, I was like Earth size.
Yeah,
they gonna fit in there.
So I heard somebody say that Sony's still going to be there, so Spider-Man would still be present because Sony will be presenting Spider-Man. They could still
do a smaller panel for just animation. Listen, Marvel got a bazillion things they could do besides Hall H, but I understand why. Like Doomsday got pushed. They still in production. Mm-hmm. This is not the first time Marvel has not been in Hall H. So this is actually not like something that's never happened before. No. And you best believe that 2026 panel going to be off the chain.
But DC will be there. So now Marvel announced that they won't be there right after DC said that they would be there.
Right. And you know what? Somebody made a good point of like, this will give chance for the other Hall H panels to have some breathing room. Mm-hmm. Because what happens is Marvel's always the last in Hall H for that day, I think. I think there's like maybe a smaller panel after that. But when people line up, they basically sit in that hall all day. So if you want to be in any of the panels before Marvel, you got to sleep outside with them. So people are like, it's good because now people won't line up. It'd be easier to get in.
Yeah, I read that either Kevin or an executive said that the reason they decided not to go was because it didn't make sense to go after pushing back both the Avenger films.
I don't disagree.
I mean, because they have to stop every Comic-Con. They have to stop production on whatever they're filming
because they got to bring everybody
flying back. Because I think they did that with Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they did.
They had to stop production and fly them back to present. So that's fine. Keep everybody at work.
Right. Keep it moving because we ain't got to we don't do no more delays. And they are very go big or go home when it comes to Hall H. So they're not doing no small dinky panel. It's like, we're bringing a whole cast or no cast. And we decided no cast. So Comic-Con will still be an exciting time. The floor room is going to be trash because everybody going to be in that because ain't no Marvel panel.
When was the last time DC had a panel? Was that Black Adam?
Yes, I think so.
So hopefully it goes better than that because that did not go over well.
James Gunn has so far only said that he's bringing John Cena for Peacemaker. If they are smart, they should dominate. They should take this opportunity to have a big old shindig. They should. Like Superman will already been out, but that's fine. Bring him anyway. Supergirl, Lanterns, if they smart, I feel like they should take advantage of the fact that Marvel is not showing up.
He really, really, really wants Peacemaker to lead the DC universe. I don't understand it.
I'm not.
Whatever.
People like that show.
Universe to run.
I'm not a huge fan, but it's superhero stuff doing good is good for the whole genre. So great that it's great. However, if Marvel ain't coming, I'm about to be like, yo, y'all, everybody on deck. All hands on deck. We about to take it over. Yeah. We'll see. We won't know until 2 weeks before or a week before the actual con who's actually showing up with what. So.
And it's still D23, and they're not going to not do anything at D23. Not nothing.
Yeah, right. So yeah, Marvel's just taking a break, and I feel like everybody should take advantage of this break because next year is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, and y'all are tired of Marvel anyway.
Supposedly.
Aren't y'all tired of the MCU? So Nobody should be upset that they're not going to be at the Comic-Con panel.
People are down bad. Okay?
Yeah,
people
right,
like
exactly.
Crying.
Screaming, crying, and throwing up
it
over something they don't like or want anymore.
Help me. What am I supposed to do at Comic-Con now? You're just like 5 billion other things to do. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
So that was the sidebar.
The biggest negative for us, because we do not go to the Marvel Hall H panels because it's overwhelming.
Yes.
And we like to spend time at Comic-Con. And
we don't like sleeping outside.
The biggest downside for me is that the rest of y'all will be crowding up the show floor when you should be at the Marvel panel.
I think that room holds like 5,000 people, so them 5,000 people gonna be wandering the streets and the floors. Right. So people have already said it's gonna be.
It used to be 1,000 at least would take them off the floor, but no.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting time.
Maybe everybody will go to the DC panel.
Or, there you go. Maybe DC will fill the gap and they can just do that.
Or y'all could just leave for 45 minutes. I need 45 minutes of just wading through, not bumping into people.
That floor would be so tight. It'd be so tight.
It's so tight.
And whatever big installation they do on the floor is going to take up, is people going to draw people to anyway.
But you know what? I have better, I know what I'm going on the floor for this time. I'm going for the hand-drawn pictures, the independent artists.
The posters.
Independent
posters.
Absolutely. And I'm skipping the toys section because I don't want no toys.
No. Now, Marvel typically has like a booth where they sell merch and stuff, and they didn't have it last year, so people are hoping they bring that back.
Oh, I didn't get that, so.
Yeah, well, they didn't have one last year.
Oh, okay.
We missed it. Remember DC kind of had one?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, Marvel usually has one, but they didn't. So hopefully they swap that out. Instead of having a panel, they bring some merch. Because I'll buy some.
Yeah.
I'd buy some merch.
Absolutely.
Too much merch, probably.
Yeah.
All right, so that was it for the unprompted news that we talked about. Now, let's get into the
actual agenda.
What, the trailer? You're supposed to say the trailer park. That was okay.
Oh, yeah, trailer park. Let's roll into the trailer park.
Go ahead.
There's no news, so I was off.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, so the first trailer we have this week is for Good Fortune. This is coming out October 17th, 2025 this year.
Yeah, it's a fall.
Something else is coming out around
October
Halloween this time.
I don't remember.
Interesting. Okay, so cool. This is going to star Keanu Reeves, Seth Rogen, Aziz Ansari, Keke Palmer, and Sandra Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I butchered that earlier.
Okay.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
What is this about? This is about an angel named Gabriel, who is played by Keanu Reeves. Sidebar, Gabriel was the villain in Constantine, and who Keanu Reeves had to fight. And now Keanu Reeves is playing Gabriel in a different movie. So.
Sound of the times. Right. Full circle.
So it follows an angel named Gabriel, who's played by Keanu Reeves, whose failed attempt to show Arj, who's played by Aziz Ansari, a struggling man, that money doesn't solve one's problems. So he body swaps Arj with another character, Jeff, who's played by Seth Rogen, who is his employer. He body swaps him
Friday.
to show him that money doesn't mean all happiness. And it results in Gabriel losing his wings while the work he did as an angel begins to unravel around him. So I'm assuming that means the work he did as an angel becomes undone.
Probably, because in the trailer, Keanu Reeves is kind of like, I typically just do things like saving people from texting and driving and getting in accidents. And Aziz is kind of like, so I got like a great value angel. What's going on here? Yeah. So it looks like it's supposed to be a comedy. What do you call it? Comedy drama? Dramedy type movie. Keanu Reeves angel looks like he's going through he gets to experience, you know, those movies where an angel gets to experience, or an entity gets to experience what a human life is like, and love and caring and all that jazz. Yeah. It looks like it's one of those type of movies. So it
looks like Sandra Oh is also playing an angel as well.
Maybe like chief angel of some sort. She's given authority on that.
We don't know anything on Keke Palmer's role, but she's listed as a main cast member, so hopefully prominent. Yeah.
Keke, keep a job. Palmer.
There you go.
I love it.
So it looks funny.
It looks interesting.
Keanu Reeves is funny.
He is funny in a, what do you call it? In a very low key kind of way.
Yeah, he has good comedic timing.
There it is.
There you go.
There it is. Like he's trying to be funny, but his character don't know he's trying to be funny. Right. He does that very good.
Seth Rogen is funny. He's just coming off of the studio success, which I think is getting a season 2, which I need to watch season 1 now.
Yep.
Aziz Ansari is funny, of course. Keke Palmer, hilarious. Sandra Oh, yes.
Also funny.
All the ingredients.
Funny.
It should be a good time. Who's making this movie?
Oh, like what studio is it from?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's see.
Warner Brothers?
Hopefully not. Sorry. Shade to Warner Brothers. It is coming from, no, Google, I don't want you to know my location. Get out of here.
Oh, Brother Productions?
So it's indie.
Interesting.
Super indie.
Oh, and it's distributed by Lionsgate, so. But you know what? Distribute it. Which means Lionsgate is not responsible for making it, but
or the promotion
will not promote it.
Okay. I'm sure these actors could probably handle the promotion part.
Seth Rogen's super popular right now, because of his success. And
everybody loves Keanu Reeves.
And everybody loves Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. So we're good.
Yeah.
We should be okay.
Keke Palmer. So yeah.
Right. All of these people. Right. We're fine.
Yeah.
I think all of these fan bases should do this movie well.
Yeah. Okay, so that is all we have for the trailer park. Let's dive into this bunch-crunch.
All right.
First scoop of crunch is Kit Connor is in talks to star in the live-action Elden Ring movie for A24. We talked about this before.
Just last episode. Now, Kit is from...
Love.
I thought you knew for some reason. You know who
Heartbreaker.
Okay, you know I'm getting him confused with the Game of Thrones guy. I don't know why. Kit Harington.
Kit Harington.
Yeah. Sorry. Wrong Kit.
So Kit is from Heartstopper.
With Locke.
With Joe Locke.
Yes.
Who is Wiccan in the MCU.
Okay. That's why his name is familiar to me, even though I haven't seen that movie.
Yeah.
Show. Whatever.
What does this tell us about this? Elden Ring is about a create your own character. So
our character is going. He's the character.
Yes.
Right? He's the character.
Yeah.
No, I wish they would
have. You're the main character now.
Yeah, I wish they would have went with something a little different, but I understand why they're not.
Yeah.
Because they probably don't want to deal with it. Right. So I get it. I get it.
So that's all we have. I mean, Elden Ring is about a blank canvas warrior that you build and you move throughout the world. They don't have personality. So whatever they're going to make with this, it's going to be It's going to be
free. It's going to be original story.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Original movie.
Yeah. I wonder if it'll have fun little game Easter eggs or references like Fallout does. Like Fallout reference the backpack that's limitless.
Or I think Dungeons & Dragons did too.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't really catch them all because we didn't play, but I saw that people mentioned like they put little Easter eggs in there. I mean, you have to, right?
Yeah, little things in the world that like reference the game, but also excuse away like the outlandish, ridiculous things that aren't explained by like science. like how old girl's backpack in Fallout carried everything. She was like, because it's a limited backpack.
She's Hermione Granger. What's the problem?
That's not how that works.
This is Hogwarts.
So next scoop of crunch is Laura Linney has been cast in Lanterns. Laura Linney is from The Breakfast Club. That's Ali Sheedy. Laura Linney's been around for a very long time.
She is. I was literally just pulling up her filmography. I most recognize her from The Truman Show. She played the fake wife.
Oh, Nesquik Lady. Yes. Okay.
Nesquik Lady. She was also in Mystic River
and Ozark, which I guess people who like Ozark or listen to this podcast are going to be very upset because she was the wife in Ozark. She was the main character. Listen, but we didn't watch Ozark.
Truman Show. Come on, Truman Show's like classic TV.
Yeah, I mean, like that
movie.
takes precedent.
Thank you.
Truman Show was amazing.
It was. Yeah, she does. Her filmography is long as heck too.
So that's cool. I'm not sure who she's going to be playing in Lanterns. The Lantern Corp has a lot of members. So she could be a lantern. She could be an alien. Or she could just be somebody on Earth.
Okay.
We still also don't know what the villain is. So maybe she's a villain.
Good addition, though. I like her.
She could be a villain. I think she was kind of the bad guy in Ozark. She was like a little bit of the problem.
Oh, okay.
So she could be a villain.
All right. She was a villain in Truman Show. Kind of a little bit.
I saw a rumor that, sidebar, Nicole Kidman might be a villain in Spider-Man.
I saw that. I kept scrolling though.
I don't know if I believe it or not, but I would go for it. That would work for me. Yeah.
Some of these rumors sound very good, and I just be like, my heart can't take this not being true. So I'm gonna just ignore it.
Some of them are good ideas.
Yeah. I can't think of one I saw last week, and I was like, I really hope this is true. Oh, I saw that they are supposedly some drone saw that they were building Captain Marvel's ship on a doomsday set, and I was like, that feels too good to be true.
It does.
So I'm not gonna believe this until it actually happens. We'll see. I just kept scrolling.
I'll wait till I see a chair with Brie Larson's name on it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we need more chairs.
Thank you. Right.
Although, where's the Tiana Pierce chair?
There's a lot of chairs missing.
Yeah.
There's a whole cast of chairs that they gonna bring out when they do Comic-Con next year.
Hopefully they keep it.
Keep what? The
chairs?
chairs?
The chairs. Keep the chairs. And just put them in the movie.
The chair gag is coming back.
Or just put them in the trailer.
I don't know how, but the chair gag is coming
Save the
back.
rest of the cast announcements for the first reveal trailer.
Probably.
That'd be great.
Just be more chairs. And we'll be like, God dang it, y'all got us again.
Next crunch is Tania Miller, I think that's how you pronounce it, has been cast as Jocasta, and Emily Hampshire has been cast as the voice of Edith in Marvel Studios' Vision Quest series.
Emily voiced Edith before. So
Edith is the glasses?
Yep. Either if it was not Tony's glasses. Yeah, Tony's glasses that he gave to Tom Holland.
Jennifer Connelly was the voice of the suit, not the glasses.
Yeah, she was Friday.
I liked. Yes.
Yes.
No.
Nope.
Jennifer Connelly was the voice of the suit, of Spider-Man suit.
Oh, yes.
Because I forgot he had a voice in the suit before. Yeah.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Edith is back. That's interesting. How?
You know what? A lot of this is Hal.
Yeah.
All of everything, like Ultron back being a Hal. So I looked up who Jocasta was. You might already know who it was.
I know, but they did tease her in a Avengers movie.
Oh, did they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
In Age of Ultron, when Tony is flipping through his cassette tapes to find a replacement because Jarvis became Vision.
Yeah.
Jocasta was one of the tapes before he stuck Friday in there.
Oh, yeah. How cool is
that?
So
Jocasta is just another version of Jarvis that he already had set up.
Interesting. Now, on Wikipedia, like her official background, now we know the MCU tinkers with backgrounds and whatnot, so they don't do copy for copy. She was a robot built originally as a bride of a supervillain, Ultron.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So she could come back as that because we know Ultron's in this.
Ultron is supposed to be in this too.
Yeah, like James Spader is literally coming back.
Yeah, so it's interesting. They're all creations of Tony.
Yeah. Yeah. They ain't giving us the plot of Vision Quest yet, but we getting a lot of like old people, new people, or references to old movies.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad about it.
Marvel does really good with their robot storylines. Vision, of course. Yeah. Ultron, of course. Jocasta, they've done good with her storyline. Also, Cerebro had a storyline in the comics.
Yeah.
Because she became sentient.
Okay.
So, interesting.
I'm very curious if we tie in these three together.
I'm wondering what the purpose is.
Like WandaVision, Agatha All Along, and like, remember it's supposed to be a 3-parter?
Or are they going to rework it and make Jocasta this Vision? Because, the Vision solo series was about Vision. After him and Wanda broke up, he wanted to
had a family,
whatnot. So he built his own family. He built a wife and children. So I wonder if he's
maybe the wife of Vision?
Yeah, maybe they retcon it and he's building Jocasta as a wife for himself.
I'm mad at it.
That would be interesting.
By the way, Tania is black, so we are also excited.
Yeah,
about
so
that.
Tania is black. She is one of the daughters from Fall of the House of Usher. Okay, that's where I first saw her, and she was in the Telltale Heart episode. Okay,
I don't know. They keep it into the plot of Vision Quest under wraps, but all these castings, I'm like, this sounds very interesting, y'all.
I would say that she's
cooking over there.
She is a very, very good actress.
Okay,
yeah, she's a great actress.
We won, y'all. Yeah, as I like to say, we winning.
Good for her.
Cool.
All right, last scoop of crunch is a fun one. Ariana Grande, who we just saw in Wicked, is cast in the Meet the Fockers 4. It says that she's going to be opposite of Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro. So my first thought was she's one of the kids. And we're kind of right.
Yeah.
So she's going to play the fiance to Ben Stiller and Terry Polo's son.
We guessed that this was going to be about the kids when we first talked about this movie coming out.
Yeah.
And we were right.
Yeah, we were right. It's been long enough.
Yes.
So it's described as Bob-busting woman who seems all wrong for him. So you know what this says to me? This is Adam's Family Values.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Pastels.
Man, that's a good movie. I have a meme from that where she's sitting in the car laughing after she thinks she killed old boy. She's like crying and she turns into a laugh.
Yeah.
That is a good movie.
So she's going to be Joan Cusack.
She is.
And that's perfect because Ariana Grande is, we learned in Wicked, she's definitely a character actor.
She is. I ain't seen her in none of her. She's a Disney kid, right?
Yes.
I saw nothing Disney. I don't listen to her music. I know some of the hits, but not for real. I liked her in Wicked.
Yeah, so she was great.
I was like, you know what? I might watch this because I skipped 3. Yeah. I have no idea what Meet the Parents 3 was about.
The role of Galinda was perfect for her.
Yes.
So she's basically going to be Debbie.
Yeah, she's going to be Debbie.
The family's going to be trying to break them up.
I could see her.
That could work.
They could redo Adam's Family Value and make her Debbie.
They could even make a Pastels reference.
Listen, she does like weird voices and stuff too.
Yeah.
Just right up her alley.
So that's perfect. I think that's a great casting.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for us.
All right, so that is all the movie news, BUNCHA-CRUNCH, and the one stop at the trailer park this week. We're going to take a short break. Our parents have arrived. And we're going to get into our movie review for Lilo and Stitch.
Hey. This week, we watched Lilo and Stitch, the remake, which came out May 23rd, Memorial Day weekend, 2025. The original came out, just for reference, in 2002. So it's pretty old.
Okay.
A couple decades. The director of this one, though, was Dean Felcher-Camp. I think I'm saying his name right. He is the director of the Marshall the Shell with Shoes On. Have you seen any of those?
I know where Marcel the Shell is with shoes on.
Yes.
I don't know. I've never seen the movie.
I haven't either. It creeps me out a little bit.
It's like isn't it like a hermit crab shell with like googly eyes on it?
Yeah, and little feet.
Yes.
And boots.
Okay.
It looks real strange to me, but he is the director of that. The cast and characters of Lilo and Stitch are pretty much the same as the original. We have, I'm not going to do any of these names right, so I apologize in advance. Do you want me to do them? Or? Yes. Jay's going to read out the names of the cast and characters from the Wikipedia page.
We have Maya Kiloha.
There you go.
As Lilo. Chris Sanders as the voice of Stitch, which I didn't know was voiced, but sure.
Yeah, he's the director of the first movie.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, cool. Sydney Elizabeth Ogudong, who is Nani. We have Zach Galifianakis, who plays Dr. Jumba. Billy Magnuson, who voices Pleaky. And Courtney B. Vance, who voices Agent Cobra. We also have Hannah Waddingham, who's the voice of the Grand Councilwoman in this as well. And the last person I'll mention is Tia Carrera, who we mentioned earlier, who's Miss Kakoa, who plays a new character, a social worker.
Sweet.
And actually, that's not the last person I'm going to mention. Where is the neighbor?
Amy Hill.
Amy Hill.
Plays Tutu.
Who's Tutu, who is also a new character who was added to this movie.
We're naming her because we liked her a lot.
Yes. She is Lilo and Nani's neighbor, who is also David's mom. So
grandmother.
So they added a grandmother for David in this movie.
Yes. Which is a nice touch.
Yes.
But we'll get into that. So the runtime of this movie is 1 hour and 48 minutes. Nice, short, and sweet, and to the point. Budget of $100 million. So Disney kept this one in check. Also, another tidbit. This movie was supposed to go direct to Disney Plus, but they screened it with some audiences, and the audience loved it so much they was like, "Oh, cha-ching!"
So this is the second one. Who was the first one?
Moana 2.
Fools all around.
Moana 2 was also supposed to go to streaming, and I think after some test screenings, they was like, "Oh, y'all, we got something good here. We cooked." 2
record-breaking movies.
Because Moana 2 made $1 billion. Yes,
about Disney princesses of color.
Correct.
Who were going to be shoved to streaming.
Correct.
Ended up making historical box office recording numbers.
Yes. Speaking of box office numbers, Lilo and Stitch has made $447 million.
I'm sorry. That's impossible because nobody wanted this movie. This movie was an unnecessary remake.
Remake slop, right?
Disney slop. Disney slop.
This Disney slop remake movie has made almost $500 million.
Who knew slop was lucrative?
Probably by the time, if you listen to this like 7 days after this episode airs, it's probably already hit $500,000.
Yeah.
Billion, excuse me. $500 million. So 447 so far worldwide. On opening weekend domestically, it made 183 million, 341 million. So the movie basically made, now to do budgets, you do the budget times 2.5, and that makes the movie, anything beyond that, up to that point and up, is profitable.
So it would have needed 250.
Yes.
Okay.
So this movie literally 341 million opening weekend worldwide. Yeah. So it made its money back. Yeah. Over its money back opening weekend, like the weekend, not just like opening month, opening like 3 weeks. Yeah. The weekend. The movie was out for 7 days. And it was already seeing green.
Everybody's meal is supersized. Everybody's got extra. It can afford extra cheese on the burger. Fresh fries.
Okay. Tater tots with bacon and cheese. Yeah. All that jazz. So yes, it made 341 million opening weekend worldwide. That was the highest opening for a Memorial Day weekend ever.
Yeah.
On the domestic side.
Good.
These are astronomical numbers for a movie. Yeah. It's basically tracking like a Moana 2. It's not tracking as high as what's the other movie? Inside Out 2. But Inside Out 2 was like 1.2 billion. So,
yeah.
What's a little few 100,000 short when you're already going to hit $1 billion anyway?
And this means that the live action Moana is going to do just fine.
I'm very curious of what, I'm curious of how the live action Moana is going to do.
I mean, I think it'll face a minor challenge because it just came out with a sequel.
Because 2 just came out, right?
But, I mean, who cares?
I don't know. I don't think people care.
I don't think people care.
And these movies come out during that, like, almost school is out time. So people just taking their kids to the movies to see it.
Like, they're hitting the
Our theater was full.
Yeah.
Like, 2 kids got a little restless at the end. Was kind of dancing in their seats.
I have that in my notes. Why I think that is.
Okay. But kids. It was kids.
Yeah.
We might, outside of the parents, we might have been the oldest people there. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
So cinema score was an A, of course. Kids and people love this.
Right.
Critics on Rotten Tomatoes gave this a 70. Nobody cares.
Right.
And then the audience gave it a 93%.
That makes sense.
Which is what
they loved Mulan.
Huh?
They loved Mulan.
Yeah, the critics are weird. We just share these because these are facts and figures. We don't necessarily agree.
Somebody's cooking the books.
Yeah, critics are strange breeds. So yeah, that is the facts and figures of this $1 billion movie for Lilo and Stitch. Jay, hit us with the plot.
The plot to Lilo and Stitch is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Lilo Stitch is an alien who has been exiled.
Yeah.
And he's on the run.
Correct.
And his creator, Jumba, and Pleaky, who's an agent who was sent by the Grand Councilwoman, have to go to Earth to retrieve him.
Yep.
And in the meantime, he's hiding out with the family and learning the meaning of community.
Boom, boom, yep. That's literally... It's the same.
It's the
same plot as the first one.
Yeah.
There's no... Now, I will say, I feel like Disney has learned from the Lion King remake to not do plot for plot beats, like letter to letter.
No, you know what? And that's what they did differently in the Lion King 2 remake.
And...
Was they ended it...
Oh, you mean the prequel?
Well, I meant the... Well, yeah, the prequel. Yeah. I guess. Because I guess the original...
Technically, the prequel is an original movie.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Don't get on that soapbox. But they're doing it differently where they're making it... They're setting up the sequel differently if they're going to do a sequel.
Another example of where they did this was The Little Mermaid. There were some little differences.
So the next Lion King, we're going to expect a new child that was an original.
Well, they did, right, because they did that in the prequel.
The next Little Mermaid, we can expect a new adventure.
Right.
Because she goes off with the
Although
humans.
I would like them to keep the Lion King 2 just like beat for beat. Sorry, I'm one of
those.
those.
The Lion King 2 story was perfect.
But I don't think they are because of how they ended the prequel.
Team Kovu all the way.
Right.
But yeah, I like the changes.
They are doing some changes. All right, so let's get into our non-spoiler thoughts for Lilo and Stitch. You want to go first?
Sure, mine are quick.
Okay.
I think the live action movie, this is one of the instances where it made it better.
Okay.
It doesn't mean the original was bad, but I do like the live action version now better. I've only seen Lilo and Stitch once. It was fine. I didn't really care about it.
I've never seen it.
Stitch was cute. But this movie made me interested in seeing a sequel or seeing more of them.
We have similar
I wasn't interested in seeing more of Lilo and Stitch after seeing the original Lilo and Stitch movie in
Fair
2002.
Fair enough.
They did a job here. The film is longer.
Yes, about 20 minutes you said?
I feel like it's because the original is an hour and 25. This one's an hour and 48.
Okay.
But it feels paced faster.
I agree. It did not feel like it was almost 2 hours.
No, it didn't. So
I agree with you there.
It went faster. There were more things happening in this movie, I think, and less slower dramatic breaks than the original Disney movie.
Okay.
But I do think that's, like you mentioned, the kids were getting restless. It was that 20 minutes that pushed them over the edge.
These kids are probably, 4, 5. Yeah. They was like, and they wasn't just super disruptive or anything, but they was definitely kind of like, hey, I'm tired of sitting here.
Yeah. Kids have an hour and a half of movie limit. Once you exceed that hour and 30 minutes, it's like, kids are like, nope, I'm restless now.
Right. And we were getting to the part where we're getting a little talky a little bit because, we're trying to wrap up the movie. So, yeah.
So, I think the runtime was fine, but I do think it's fine you can keep the live actions an hour and a half, too.
Yeah, because Little Mermaid kind of pushed it.
It did.
It was over 2 hours, and you feel it just a little bit.
We didn't need Uncharted Waters. I didn't hate it. It was funny.
We ain't need it, though.
We didn't need it.
Or Scuttlebutt. You could have cut both of those.
I was fine.
That was at least 10
Everybody
minutes.
else hated Scuttlebutt. But, so it was much faster paced. I think the live action actors and actresses are what made it better.
Okay.
I think the actual cast being cast members of people, some of them who we recognized, and the jokes in them were a lot funnier because they actually casted comedic.
Because they were people. Oh, okay. Yep.
Comedic actors and actresses in it.
Agree.
Rather than voice actors. And actresses.
Okay.
So I think the live action aspect of the people
added more personality to the characters?
Okay. Yeah. The visual effects were great.
Yeah, Stitch fit
right in.
I was
looking for a flaw and I couldn't find one.
Nope.
Yeah.
The aliens, Plinky and what's his name? Jumbo?
Jumba. Jumba and Blinky? Yes.
Jumba and Blinky? Look good.
The effects in them were good. The effects in the Grand Councilwoman were good. And it's not just like the effects of them on an Earth-based planet. The effects of the opening is in space. It opens just like the first movie does.
Okay.
And the effects in space were funny. The side characters were funny.
Yes.
The extras, I thought they were good. And I had a good time.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what I said different. So I don't have any ties to the original movie. I did not see it. I do think I'm gonna go back and watch it just for my own comparison's sake. So I already mentioned I like the fact that I do know how the Jay and we went with our cousin JL. They had seen it, so they were able to tell me what the differences were. I like that they made it a little different, and it just wasn't a plot for pot, but we kind of just talked about that with The Lion King, Little Mermaid. The movie was funny. Yeah. I was funnier than I thought. Like, it was funny. Laugh, tic-tac dance. I was cracking up. I don't know why that was so funny. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short, so the runtime was good. I like that 2 of the characters had a full circle moment, which I guess also happens in the original, but we'll get to that. This was another Disney movie that was supposed to go to streaming. It's about to make $1 billion, which I think is crazy. Enjoyed all of the characters, like you already said. And like you already said, I would watch a sequel. I would watch the sequel.
I would absolutely watch the sequel in this. I wasn't interested or invested in Lilo and Stitch prior to this, but this movie definitely worked. And I think Stitch works in live action.
He does.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said.
He's an alien, but he works.
He does. Like, they were able to make him. I mean, Disney does well with this. We're making alien, foreign, like Grogu.
Yeah.
Making characters that look weird and funny that should be ugly and disgusting. And it's like, oh, it's cuddly, cute, and he got emotions.
And he's not an idiot.
And he wasn't stupid.
Yeah.
Which I think also helped.
There's a difference between being bad and idiot. He wasn't
an
idiot.
And we didn't have to do that whole naivete and like, oh, he's just not smart. But no, Stitch knew what was up. And I think that's what helped and made the movie more funny, because we're not laughing at him because he's dumb.
Right.
We're laughing at him because he's like doing this junk on purpose.
Yeah.
And you're like, you funny. You funny. All right. Anything else for non-spoilers?
That's all I got.
All right. So we're going to go. I don't know how you not. We're going to spoil this movie, but you kind of already know. If you are listening to this, you probably already know how this movie ends.
Lilo and Stitch was one of those movies that came out and then had like a reoccurring series on Disney Channel for like months. So you know it ends happy.
Come on, y'all.
Right?
It's Disney for crying out loud. I guess what the spoilers would change from the original, but whatever. As we usually do, we will go down our character list and talk about spoilers now in 3, 2, and 1. First up, we have Lilo.
So Lilo Palaki is Pelakai. I'm sorry. It's played by Maya. Loved her. I thought she was great.
She was. I thought I recognized her for something, but I don't. But she's a very good child actress.
Yeah, very good.
She did the stressed out kid. I didn't realize she was only 6.
Yeah.
She seems older than 6.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just because, like, she's been through a traumatic life event, so she's kind of had to grow up a little bit. But the actors did her very good. I like that Lilo, she wasn't quite jiving with her sister.
Right.
Like, you could tell that her sister was she tells her sister, I like you better as a sister than a mom. But that was, like, true. Like, she wasn't used to her sister being her mom. So her sister trying to mom her just wasn't working out. So you feel for the little girl because of what she's been through. And I actually was kind of on her side at all times. Like, whenever she was acting out or acting up, I'm like, I mean, she deserved pushing that little girl. She deserved it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I love the child actress in this.
Yeah, I think the child actress did really good. She nailed the emotional moments really good.
She did.
When she felt bad, when she would get her sister into trouble.
She did feel bad.
I liked her dialogue. She had funny things to say, like when her and her sister were arguing and she locked her sister out of the house because she missed her recital.
Yeah. And she's 6, right? Mm-hmm. So she's doing it because she feels like, I didn't have nobody at my recital and I feel a certain way. But it's also like, girl, the car broke down. But she's 6, so you can't really hold that against her. She's having like a life moment on a carpet and you're like, this 6-year-old has been through some things.
Yeah.
And she played it very well.
So I thought she was really fun. I liked her dynamic with her sister a lot.
I did. They were cute. Like,
yeah.
Even though they had I like how they didn't treat each other the whole movie like enemies. It could have been a situation where she hated her. The sisters hated each other, and then at the end they kind of come together. But no, they were still loving siblings through the whole movie.
Yeah,
and I like that.
All right, Stitch.
Stitch was wild.
Stitch was crazy.
I love Stitch though.
Stitch was great.
And the best part about Stitch is that he knew that he was wild. Yes. Like, he didn't have the Lilo has a thing where she tells him like, you're not a bad person. You just do bad things. So he didn't have that concept, but he was just being himself.
Yeah. And
I like the fact he wasn't dumb. Like, he was smart and he would use the world around him in this new space to get out of things.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Him being deliberately bad made it so you weren't frustrated when he did bad stuff, because like, you're doing this on purpose,
right?
You're not doing this because you're an idiot and you don't know any better. You do know better. And I like the fact that they would, every time he did something bad, they would give a moment where he would like give an evil grin or a smile or smile defiantly as soon as somebody told him not to do something. It's like, he's gonna do it.
I like was funny to say this. I like Stitch's character development.
Yes, he did.
Has a character development.
I like that he talked a lot towards the end.
He did,
like in full sentences. So they didn't make him speak in gibberish the whole movie.
He wasn't Grogu the whole time.
No, it seemed like he learned off screen how to talk English, and I was fine with that.
Yeah, totally fine. Because he's around people the whole time. Because everybody thinks he's a dog, which is a funny part of the movie.
Hilarious.
So he's always around people in crowds, and he's picking up on words and languages. And Lilo kind of teaches him a little bit. So I like Stitch's character development of being loud and rowdy, and then learning what a family is, and then being like, oh, okay, I'm kind of doing the most. Let me back down. And then he does a sacrifice play, right? Because he's kind of like, I want to protect my family. And then he just, it ends how you think it ends.
Yeah.
And I just like the whole full circle of that. Anything else about Stitch we want to share?
I thought he was funny. I think one of my favorite Stitch scenes was the glass breaking scene.
That was one of mine.
Oh, that was one of yours?
I had multiple favorites. The whole movie is cute and funny. Like, I don't know what people didn't. I know what people didn't like about this.
Yeah, we know.
But it's such an enjoyable movie. It's kind of like, how you hate on all these elements? I don't know.
They did a good job. I would get a Stitch Funko or plushie. I would add him to my collection.
I see why that popcorn bucket was popular. I'm like, I feel like I want to just be in Stitchland all the time.
Watching this movie with Cheryl was fun because she didn't see the original.
Nope.
So she did not know that Stitch could suck in his arms and back spines and ears.
Yeah. So there's a scene where he tries to turn into a quote unquote dog, and he like sucks into the arms, the two lower ones. Then he does the things in the back, and then he did his antennas. I was like, oh my god.
It's funny because I was waiting for it.
Oh, okay.
And when you was like, oh my god, I was like, oh, you didn't know that she could do that.
And it makes sense because on all the posters and all the promotion, he only has 2 arms.
Yeah.
So when he showed up with 4, my brain didn't even go, okay, these are gonna have to disappear. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, maybe I missed it, whatever. And I was like, wait.
Yeah, when
is his appendage just disappear? This is scary. But it was just me because I hadn't seen it before.
Nani Pulakai.
So Nani is the older sister. I love the actress who played her.
She's great.
She's doing her best, right? Mm-hmm. And she has to make a decision about Lilo that she's kind of like, I would say she feels like the character's in her 20s. You said in the movie she's a teenager.
I think definitely aged her up to like,
okay,
at least she graduated high school.
Oh, right, obviously, because in this movie,
age.
she's there's the continual mention that she would have went off to college, but she needs to take care of her sister.
Yeah.
I like the fact that she tries to bring Lilo down to earth, but she's not super mean to her. Mm-hmm. I like the fact that you can also tell, though, she's struggling.
Yeah.
Like she's clearly struggling raising her own sister.
Yeah. And I like the fact she understands her sister as a child. Like, when she gets irritated at her, by the time the next scene is happening, they're okay. Right.
She just, sometimes, I think at one point she tells Lilo, like, not right now. Right. And she don't scream or holler, and Lilo picks it up like, okay, I kind of did the most.
Right.
But she also tells she's the one who tells Lilo, you're not a bad person. Just sometimes you do bad things. And that's what Lilo ends up telling Stitch. So I like that whole full circle moment as well. Yeah,
because it's both a non-ideal situation for both of them. So exactly. I like it that she doesn't act like, oh, I'm stuck here with you. She's kind of like, we're stuck here together, so we have to like try.
Yeah, she says, she tells Lilo, I need to live in reality, or I need you to live in reality with me.
Yes.
Right? She's not like, I wish mom and dad were here to watch you when I didn't have to do this. She doesn't have any like regret about it. She's just trying to do the best thing for her sister, while also being I think the social worker is like, you're a child yourself. Like, so yeah. I liked how I don't know how she was depicted in the original, if that's much different or not, but I like how she's depicted here.
And it's as difficult as you could tell it was being Lilo's guardian. Right. She still wanted to take care of her. Like, yes. She was fighting tooth and nail to make sure that they stay together, correct, regardless of all the things that Lilo and Stitch had gotten into. And
even in the end, she makes sure they stay together.
Yeah.
Despite people's weirdness. Anywho.
All right. Who do we have next on the list?
Jumba and Pliki? Is that how you say it?
Jumba and Pliki.
So these are the aliens. Now, one thing that is different here is that Jumba is basically our villain.
Yes.
We did not, right? Am I saying this right? There was not like a villain in the first one. Yes. Or he was not a villain in the first one.
No, I mean, he wants to be known as like a mad scientist.
Okay.
But he's a goof. So he ends up being like lovable.
So he's not a goof in this one.
No.
He is evil mad scientist who wants to use he wants to use Stitch for evil.
Yeah.
Essentially. So his whole gameplay is they have to go down to go get Stitch, but he wants to take Stitch to basically take over the Grand Council woman's job and like take over the planet community.
Yeah.
He has some nefarious purposes.
Yeah, he's definitely a villain in this.
He is definitely full on villain. And then Pleaky is more of like, oh my God, I'm so excited that I'm now on Earth, but I still got a job to do, but I'm way too goofy to do it.
So they kept Pleaky very, very much the same.
Okay, so Pleaky's the same. Mm-hmm. I like both of them. I kind of like Pleaky more.
I like Pleaky more.
Probably because he's not a bad guy. Mm-hmm. And then Jumba was just trying to kill. Not kill. Well, he was trying to kill them at the end. He was just trying to take Stitch and, do whatever with him. They were in this movie just enough though.
Yeah.
I like how they flip back and forth between all the characters, but I don't know if they were more in the other one than they were in this one, but I feel like they were in this just enough.
So they were more in this. They were more alien in the original.
So did they not turn to humans in the original?
No, they just dressed up in human clothing and disguise. Like Pleaky would still have one eye, but he like wore a wig and
okay.
Stuff. You suspend your disbelief because it's
the humans, right? The humans would obviously notice.
In this, they give them extra human bodies for disguises,
and that makes sense in a live action because you have to be okay. These are humans, not cartoons.
Yeah,
they would obviously know these were aliens.
And it's Hawaii's a heavily tourist location, so they're around a lot of people. I think Zach Galifianakis and Billy Madison did a great job.
They did.
The human
I didn't realize that was Zach
Galifianakis
until like 30 minutes.
This is the most
20 minutes
regular he's ever been in a movie. He's usually like outlandish and over the top.
And I think and he's maybe a little older.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that is him.
This is a very tame performance from Zach.
He's normal.
Yeah.
He's real normal villain. And I was like, oh, I'm used to goofy Zach.
Yeah.
Okay. He did good though.
I think they did a good job as the human stand-ins. And they weren't in human form for very long. They're only in human form for the middle section of the movie.
Right,
and then the third act, they go right back to being human.
They do,
yeah,
which was cool. Mm-hmm. And I like when human characters do see them in alien form, they appropriately freak out.
Yeah,
I was like, y'all just say alien, and they all kind of like react like an alien. So that was all done very well.
Yeah. So, Jumba was changed to be more evil because the movie needed a villain.
Yeah,
I feel like out of everybody, they could have the lazy option would have made the Grand Councilwoman a villain.
Right, and she was, surprisingly to me, she's not a villain. She's just running her space community or whatnot.
I guess we'll get into that, but I think making her not the villain and making her an actual likable character or a level-headed character.
Yeah, she's your typical politician, kind of.
Made the character better, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Cobra Bubbles, who is played by Courtney B. Vance in this movie. Bubbles is originally in the original Lilo and Stitch.
He was voiced by Ving Rhames, and they were going to do a cameo for Ving Rhames into this, but he had a scheduling conflict with Mission Impossible, and that's why he's not in this one.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wait. Yep. Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Because the delays and all of the stuff that's going on with Mission Impossible.
Because Ving Rhames could have been live action Bubbles.
He could have, but I think it was a scheduling conflict.
Animated character kind of looks exactly like Ving Rhames.
I can see that.
Okay, so Courtney B. Vance plays Bubbles in this. Originally, Bubbles was he's a CIA agent in this movie.
Yes.
Who doesn't know anything about aliens.
No.
But he finds out about Stitch and wants to report it to the government. In the original, I think Bubbles was the undercover agent who knew about the aliens already and was in cahoots with the councilwoman to make sure that Jumba and Pleaky got Stitch.
Okay.
I feel like
they definitely changed him.
I'm either mixing him up with Bubbles. I'm either mixing him up with him or Gantu because there was another character that they didn't have in this movie at all.
Okay.
Who was a hunter, but
Courtney B. Vance was fine.
He was great. He was fine.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the movie a lot.
He wasn't, but when he is in the movie, he has like a presence.
Yeah.
So I like that. And I also like that he was literally just trying to do his job. He wasn't overly mean or overbearing or anything like that. And in the end, he helps instead of just standing there doing nothing. Yeah. So I like that.
I like that as well.
It's Courtney B. Vance, so
and
no notes. Mr. Angela Bassett.
Grand Councilwoman.
Who is, so in the original, she's not bad, you said. Right?
No, I mean, she's just a Grand Councilwoman.
She's regular. Yeah. Or she's the same.
Yeah.
So she's funny in this. So I don't know if she was funny in the last one. But she has some pretty funny lines.
And they're all kind of funny. But she was much funnier in this one.
Okay. She has some very funny lines. I could not recognize. Now, we just saw her in Mission Impossible. And I was trying to recognize the voice. She don't sound She does very good voice work because I couldn't place her.
Her character in this does not sound anything like her character, Mrs. Cloud, or whoever she was in Elemental. She was the Cloud boss.
Yeah, so Hannah, you good with
she
the
was
voice
great
work.
With voice work.
You good.
Yeah.
And shout out to you for having both of these movies open on the same weekend.
Yeah. And shout out to Courtney B. Vance and Angela Bassett for running the box office weekend.
Right. Power couple. I love it. So Grand Councilman woman, she's not in this a ton, but when she is in it, she's pretty funny.
Every bit.
She literally just wants Stitch to be exiled.
Yeah.
Like she running by the book. She don't play no games. And she's checking in and she like, y'all are fools. I'm about to send somebody else because I'm tired of the shenanigans.
She plays one of the good bosses who's surrounded by idiots.
Yes.
Who only has idiots working for.
Right.
I liked her crew. I especially like the pink fish looking crew member
who wanted
to blow up Earth so much.
Yes. And she tells her, not yet.
Yeah, she's like the trigger happy girl.
Relax.
I like the little tidbits of information that Grand Councilwoman gives, like the fact that Earth is a wildlife preserve in their universe for mosquitoes specifically, which is so funny because they're like the bane of all of our existence.
She calls Earth a mosquito farm.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, for real?
And mosquitoes in their universe are considered an essential species.
Yes.
So the only reason they're not blowing up Earth is not because of the people, it's because of the mosquitoes.
Right.
Interesting.
And it was funny that they sent Stitch to Earth. And I always find it's a bunch of water. Like, I didn't realize this, that Stitch, when he gets wet, he's basically like a rock. Mm-hmm. He's super dense. So they're like, oh, he'll just land and then he'll crash and then drown. And then he lands on Hawaii. And they're like, of course.
The one island in the middle of the water.
Hawaii.
One piece of land.
Right, they don't know it's Hawaii. They just see a landmass and they're just like, of course he lands on land.
I love the scene where they're watching the little rocket on the monitor and they're like happy because they think it's going to crash in the ocean. Then when it hits the land, they're like, oh.
Right.
And then she goes, are you kidding me?
God dang it. I'm just trying
like, you got to be joking.
Everything was about to work out.
You landed on land on the water planet.
Yes. That was pretty funny. So all of the side characters, the aliens, all that was good. That was good. All right. So David and his grandma Tutu.
Loved. David is an original character from the original one. Right. He's just the love interest.
Is he still as aloof and goofy and awkward in the original?
I don't remember, but he didn't make much of an impression. I don't think he was like a major character. He was just like Nani's love interest.
Yeah, pretty much.
So he was pretty much the same in this. Okay. He was just a goof in this. So if he was a goof, that was consistent.
Okay.
And he was fine.
He was fine. I liked him. He was cool.
The standout was Tutu though.
Tutu was riding dirty. She had a little dirt bike. She was shooting her little what was a goat?
She was shooting her goat in the face with water.
And she was like being slick because Nani was supposed to go to college and like threw away her acceptance letter. And she was like, oh, how does your garbage end up in your backpack? Wonder how that got there.
Yeah.
Loved her. She was funny. But Amy Hill was funny in hers. Amy Hill, right? Is that? Yes. Amy Hill was funny in everything.
Amy Hill was in Lilo and Stitch, the series.
Okay.
And she played Miss Lynn Hasagawa, who's a little old lady who owns the town's fruit stand.
Oh.
But they gave her an entirely different character in this movie.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of what I know Amy Hill from. Just in general.
She's been in a lot of stuff.
My Wife and Kids, a couple episodes.
She was in 50 First Dates. I remember that, which also took place in Hawaii.
That's So Raven. She had a reoccurring role. Mrs. DePowell.
Was she the teacher?
I think so, yes.
She one of the teachers?
Hold on, I'm about to look. If you see her, she looks super familiar as well. Because she's been in so much stuff. But I loved her character in this.
She was also in Next Friday.
She was a teacher in That's All Raven.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's been around forever. She's hilarious. She was a standout for me in this movie. She plays their next door neighbor, who's kind of like an extra support line for them.
Yeah, she's kind of like their unofficial grandmother. In a sense.
Yeah. So she's there to look out for Nani and Lilu when Nani needs her to. I found it strange that Nani didn't ask her to like babysit more often, like when she was going to like job interviews or anything.
True. I mean, and Nani definitely had a like, Lilo is my responsibility, and I'm not gonna burden anybody else with it, especially since we know Lilu's a little rambunctious. So that's what it seemed like. She just wanted to carry it on her own. And Tutu makes a point to say like, what's the Ohana?
Ohana means family.
Means family, and family is not just like your blood relatives.
Right.
Like it's all of your community too. So she kind of had to remind Nani of that when she was helping raising Lilu.
Yeah. But she did a really good job. I thought she was funny. She had great comedic timing.
She did.
There's a scene at the end where they do the revival scene in this a little differently at the end with Stitch. But she has a line in the end of this movie that's hilarious when they're thinking about defibrillating Stitch using jumper cables.
Yes.
At the point that they still think this is a dog.
That
you're about to attach the jumper cables too.
It's like y'all about to the jumper cables are attached to a car.
If anything, this dog is about to explode.
Exactly. Because they're using a human defibrillator, and it's like running your foot against carpet. Like, it ain't really doing much. Right. And they're like, we need to use something bigger. I think it's Plinky who says like it's not enough. We need something more. So they hook it up. They look at the jumper cables. I think Lilo gets the jumper cables. They look at the pickup truck and they kind of like, oh, but Tutu is kind of like,
let's do it.
It's like a long pause, awkward pause, and we staring at her. And you said she thought she was gonna make like a memorable speech of some sort, like, no, don't do it. Or
they did a long dramatic pause.
She's just like, sure. Let's save the dog.
Let's try that.
Let's try to save the purple dog.
Because at that point, y'all just chased the spaceship across the island and watched it crash into the ocean. So, I mean, let's do it.
And y'all literally just saved the alien from under the ocean.
She also had a very funny line. There's a subplot in here where Nani is going to, or has the opportunity to go to UCLA to study marine biology.
Yes.
But she's been putting it off because she wants to take care of Lilu. That was not part of the original plot.
Right.
They added it here. She had a really good line, Tutu, when Nani finds her torn up pamphlet that she threw out for UCLA about her full ride. She threw it in the garbage, but she finds it in her work bag at work. And Tutu makes a comment. She's like, oh my God, isn't that just so strange and coincidental that your marine biology pamphlet that you threw out in your home garbage made it to your job?
I think that's like one of the first things we see her say. But what's also funny throughout the movie is that Nani wants to major in marine biology at this college, but they keep calling it everything but. They call Lilo keeps saying she's going to the Marines,
the Marine
and then
Corps.
Tutu says something like you're going to the biology.
She called it magnets.
Yeah, magnets. Magnet biology.
She said biological magnets.
Yeah, it's like nobody says it right, but they are very sincere in wanting Nani to actually go do whatever it is. They're just not saying it right. Yeah. But it's funny.
It's funny. All right, so those are all our characters. Let's get into our likes and dislikes.
I feel like I said them all already. Trying to think of what else different or do I want to add that wasn't in my non-spoiler thoughts. I don't think I have anything extra. I think I got all my likes out.
My likes were, I liked the montages between Lilo and Stitch and all the hijinks and trouble they would get into.
Okay.
We got a montage of them at the resort in Hawaii.
Yes.
We got a montage of them causing havoc at Nani's job.
And when Nani's trying to get a new job.
So we
good.
like all those montages. I also liked the scene that I have in my notes where Stitch steals the little girl's toy car that Lilo pushed in the recital.
And they bring it back.
It wasn't even the fact that they brought it back. It was the fact that car was going 100 miles per hour down the road.
So when Stitch steals it, they going 120 down a highway. And then when they bring it back, it's literally like cars for clunkers.
Those things go 10 miles per hour maximum.
You're supposed to suspend your disbelief.
And they're not. The car was driving like it was on gas. And those cars are battery powered.
It was running like it was an F1 car.
It had tread marks on the street when he would like hit a hard turn. Like, those cars don't peel.
It turned into Fast and the Furious for like 5 seconds.
I thought that was hilarious.
It was funny.
It was unrealistic and it made no sense in this movie. It was just so funny that they stole that car and were literally burning rubber in it, which is hilarious.
Yes, with no seatbelt.
I don't even know if those wheels are rubber.
On
those, I think they're like plastic. It's just funny.
Maybe it was funny because when they bring the car back, Stitch is like, "Hey, I brought your car back," because he's trying to make amends because Lilo's like teaching him how to be better, and he like leans on the car and it just falls apart.
And when it falls apart, it makes like metal clanging sounds. Like, those cars are made of plastic. This car is falling apart like an actual Mercedes. Yes. It was hilarious.
F1 car.
That's all I have for likes. I think I listed them out earlier.
Okay.
So we can get into the ending. It ends pretty much the same. Instead of Lilo getting abducted in the forest by Gantu, which was an extra hunter that they cut out of this movie.
Gotcha.
Lilo just gets picked up by Jumba, which makes sense because Jumba's the villain in this movie.
Yes.
So it kind of works the same way. Lilu in the movie, they capture Lilu.
Oh.
And it's Nani that has to say, Stitch, me and you need to go save Lilu.
Okay.
Or you have to do something because it's your responsibility.
Got you.
In this movie, they kind of pick up Lilu and Stitch at the same time. They pick up Stitch, but Lilu sneaks onto the ship. So they crash land in the ocean after having a fight with Jumba.
Get sucked out into the water and presumably dies?
No, we see him at the end.
Oh, you do. He gets taken back to the space.
Disney movie got to tell you that everybody lives at the end.
Right. I was like, are they about to suck this man out? Right.
So Nani saves Lilo and Stitch. She swims out there, and with David's help, she saves Lilo, but Stitch is weighted down by the water. So we get a callback to an earlier scene where we have a picture of Nani, who was really good at surfing, was doing weight training underwater.
Yeah, so she's got that. Have you ever seen like that Muhammad Ali picture where he's like fighting underwater? She would take like a weight and walk underwater to do her training. Yeah.
So that came around in handy because she used her training to hold Stitch and walk him back to the beach.
That was the scene when I mentioned in my non-spoiler thoughts that a full circle moment between two characters. I like that because it made the bonding connection between Stitch and Nani, which we hadn't had at that point. Right. Everything was Lilo and Stitch.
Right, which is the only point we had in that moment.
Right. So I like that. That was one of my favorite scenes.
So after they save Stitch, the Grand Councilwoman shows up like she does in the
said
end.
She was.
And she's like, we got to take Stitch. And it's different in this movie. In the original, she didn't take Stitch because they had a receipt, because technically they purchased him from the pound. So because he was property, they could not confiscate him.
Oh, that's
so
cute.
That
was a good way to do it too.
You're right. So they kept his exile on Earth because they're like, well, fine, you bought him now. So now he has an owner.
So they kind of did it a little bit the same.
Yeah. In this, they kind of just cut out that part and just go for he's got a family now. Right. We wanted him exiled, and now we know where he is at least. So we'll just leave him here.
And I guess I like the little part where the Grand Councilwoman was like, y'all have shown me that Stitch can actually do good. Yeah. So because I trust that he can do a little good, I'm leaving Plinky here to watch him. Y'all say y'all gonna take care of him. His exile can be on Earth. So I thought that was cool.
And like you said, Stitch had character development, because the first thing he said in the movie, I guess, was a curse word. Oh. In the beginning, when they were giving him
and everybody was like, oh my God.
Yeah, and they were giving him the moment to speak on his own behalf, and I guess he just said a really foul curse word. Yes. So by the end, when he talks to the Grand Councilwoman again, he's speaking in full sentences.
Yes, and he's very like apologetic, and he's getting ready to turn himself in or whatnot, but he wants to say goodbye. Yeah. And then this is where we have the moment that she's like, okay, fine, he can stay.
Yeah, and he says, this is my family. They're not perfect, but they're still good. Right. And I thought that moment was touching. Yes. So Grand Councilwoman, and Cobra, Bubbles, agrees to keep an eye on them.
And not tell about the aliens.
Right, as a human advocate, I guess, that you can trust.
He's an ambassador to the aliens.
She says she's going to be in touch with Bubbles, I think. She says she'll check in with Bubbles regularly. Yeah. And they leave. Stitch with the family, and it kind of ends the exact same way the first movie ends. However, we do get one small addition. After credit scene. So the addition is that Nani gets to go away to school. Yes. And a lot of people were upset about this.
They called it colonization.
That doesn't make any sense. I think people are forgetting, and that was, like we mentioned earlier, we talked about it. A prominent scene to us in the movie was when Bubbles captures Pleaky. Yes. And they know that Lilo has been abducted and she's on her way back to space. Bubbles like, I don't care. I'm trying to get Pleaky back to the CIA so I can protect the American people. And Tutu has to tell him, like, we're American people. And I was like, oh, that's a great prominent scene to put in this type of movie. Like, yeah, you're forgetting.
Because Hawaii is still the United States.
Yeah, you guys
of America.
U.S. likes to own territories until it's time to take responsibility for them.
Right. And then when we go over there and jack it up with tourism, they're like, oh no, but we belong here. It's like, no.
I think the tourism aspect of the movie and Lilo constantly having to sneak to the resort to enjoy the luxuries of the island that she grew up on, and the fact that they had to tell Bubbles, who was an agent of the government, that Hawaii is a state.
We are Americans too.
That feeds into the fact that y'all don't know what colonization is. Like what?
One part of the after credit scene where we also get further down is that she goes to college. Yeah. I guess it's somewhere in San Diego. It's somewhere in California. But they have this portal gun that's used throughout the movie where you can make a portal and you can jump back and forth wherever you need through the portal. Kind of like a Doctor Strange portal, to be very honest, except it's in gun form. So Nani takes it with her and she uses it to go visit Stitch and Lilo whenever she wants.
Which means she did not leave. She barely left.
She literally puts a portal in the middle of both of their rooms. Yeah. Walks through to surprise Lilo. And it's just kind of like, and they all like, they go to that particular night, they all sleep in the bed together. And it's kind of like, she didn't leave.
And really. I get the idea that this might be the first time she's ever done it, but I get the idea that this is going to happen regularly now.
Yeah. Like, as long as the gun works. Yeah. They're perfectly fine. So I didn't get people nitpicking about the change of her going to college, and the other thing that people complain about is that she gave up Lilo. Like The neighbor, which she called family, adopted her.
She did not have a job. To college. She did not have insurance. The state was going to take her.
Yes.
The option was either she goes across the island to a random family you don't know,
right,
or she goes next door to Tutu's house.
Right. And she got to go to college. I didn't understand.
So everybody got what they wanted.
It was a happy ending.
Lilu was not abandoned.
No.
And they set the precedent that Lilu didn't want her around as a mom. She wanted her as a sister.
She did. Mm-hmm. She did. And she even tells Nani, like, I want you to be happy too.
Yeah.
Like, our parents wanted you to also be happy.
It was Lilu's idea to tell her to go to college because she wasn't gonna.
She wasn't.
It was going to end the exact same way the movie
ended. And Tutu says in the movie, have you asked Lilu what she wants?
Yeah.
So, like I said, I didn't see the original, but I was satisfied with this ending.
Lilu had a big oversized San Diego sweater when she was waving her sister off on the plane. Lilu was fine.
And she got to keep Stitch.
And she got Stitch.
It was a good ending.
I liked it.
So, if you can't tell, we liked it.
Favorite line or scene?
So my favorite is the whole montage scene of when Lilo was trying to teach Stitch how to be better. And the particular part you had already mentioned is the glass scene. So Stitch wants to, every time he see a glass, he wants to tear it up. He like Thor in that first scene where he saw a mug. He's like, another, and he crashes it. Stitch is like that, but Lilo's like, you can't do that. So she stacks up a bunch of champagne glasses in like a tall pyramid, and Stitch is like trying with all his might to not destroy the pyramid. And it's the funniest thing because they animate Stitch's trying to resist very well.
He's like biting his teeth.
He's in pain.
His teeth.
He's in pain trying not to destroy these glasses, and it's so funny and cute. So that would probably be my favorite.
My favorite scene, I had so many, most of them about Stitch.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my favorite scene would be him tearing up the house after Nani just cleaned it.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was good because him and Nani are basically going at it. Stitch is being openly defiant, and there's several moments in the movie where they tell him not to do something, and he kind of like grins evilly as he slowly begins to do the exact same thing. She tells him not to go in her clean kitchen, and you just see his eyes and ears as he grins.
He pops
and
up over the counter.
Disappears behind the counter because he knows he's about to be a menace.
He tear it up.
He did a really good job.
Yeah.
I really couldn't pick a single favorite line or scene.
That tells you that the movie was fun and a good time.
They kept the comedy going, and I think they helped with the pacing.
They did. And even in the moments where it gets kind of sad because Stitch is realizing, oh, I'm kind of tearing up this family, it turns around pretty quick. So you're not sad for too long, but you get that Stitch is developing as a person, as a dog, alien, whatever, to not be chaos all the time.
I like the surfing scene too. I guess that can go at the top. I like the scene where Nani finally realizes that she should go for a job doing something that she actually loves, which is being a surfing instructor because she's actually good at surfing. And we get a montage of the family and everybody surfing.
And cheering for her as she's teaching. That was cute.
And then we get Stitch. That's from the cartoon. We get the iconic scene of Nani, Lilu, and Stitch all on the surfboard.
That was
together.
Cute. I did like that because Stitch is afraid of water, right? Because he knows once he gets in it, he gonna drop like a rock.
Yeah.
But they put him on a surfboard, and he kind of has like that free moment. That was cute.
Once he sees another dog with a life vest on, he's like he wants to go out there now.
Yes.
So I thought it was cute.
That was very cute. That was also very cute. Yeah. All right. Any random notes?
Random notes. The Disney intro is getting longer and longer.
It's not that long.
It's getting longer.
I like Pride Rock all the way in the back.
Yeah, it's getting long.
Well, they changed it when they turned 100. That's what that is.
It's 100 years long. And I thought that, my last random note that I had was that they are electrocuting something that they think is a dog. And I thought that was funny. Because all the way up to that point, they still thought he was like a dog.
The craziest shot caller you've ever seen in your life.
And even though they were chasing him in a spaceship and Courtney B. Vance has said that he's an alien to their face, it wasn't until after they electrocuted him and the Grand Councilwoman showed up and he started talking that David said, that dog just talked. So they still thought it was a dog.
David was still calling it a dog. Yeah. Like, he is purple. He is purple. He is not a dog. The only random note I have, and I guess, was there any music in the original one?
There's not songs.
Okay.
Not singing ballads.
So this is a Disney movie with no ballads, no singing, no Moana, and I was perfectly fine with that.
Yeah.
I didn't miss any music.
Yeah, I didn't need any music.
So it was good.
Yeah.
I was waiting for a cheesy song to come on and it never came. And I was perfectly fine with that.
All right. Are you ready for our reading?
Yes.
All right.
5 Nicole Kidmans. I enjoyed this too darn much, y'all. I'm sorry.
This was fun.
It was, I'm sold. anytime a movie, I'm like, if a sequel come out, I'm gonna watch it. I feel like it's an automatic 5 for me.
I went in with 0 expectations because I was kind of indifferent on Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
And I came out wanting more Lilo and Stitch.
I feel like that's
which I did not expect. So I think that's a win.
So we are Lilo and Stitch fans, y'all.
Yeah.
Surprise. Disney, you've done it again. You've done it again.
Yeah, so it was a 5 out of 5 movie. I have no notes. I might get this on physical.
Oh, see, now that's how you know.
So
that's how you know. We're about to run these numbers up on Disney Plus.
Yeah. I expect it's gonna crash Disney Plus when it drops.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Hopefully Brave New World is currently crashing it because a lot of people are saying they've been watching it. So
which is once again just like the Marvels, just like Eternals.
We're not gonna get on that soapbox.
You moviegoers who are constantly going to the movies
because that soapbox will be long.
Yeah.
Anywho, great movie. If you like the original and you just go watch it.
Yeah.
And form your own opinion.
It's a good time.
I feel like general audiences are loving this movie and people chronically on the online are not. So if you are one of those, pick your poison.
And if you don't want to go see the movie, that's okay. It's a success.
Right. And you can watch the original.
It's already made all its money.
On Disney Plus. So you gotta act like this one don't exist.
Yeah.
If you want to.
You can just go watch the original.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So that is our review of Lilo and Stitch. Absolutely go see it. Check it out. And if you have seen it and you have thoughts and opinions, share them with us.
Sure. I'm open to an opinion always.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to agree with it, but I'm open to it.
What are you watching next week?
Ballerina, Lady John Wick.
All right.
Or we can watch Phoenician Scheme. They both come out on the same weekend. Exactly. Now we can flip-flop it. Whichever one we don't watch next week, we'll watch the following week. So maybe TBD. I think you want to watch Phoenician Scheme more, don't you? But Ballerina will be the more popular movie.
Let's just get Ballerina out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're not really looking for it.
But I wasn't looking forward to Lilo and Stitch, so maybe Ballerina will surprise me. I doubt it.
I don't.
But I also don't know the future.
No.
But I hope my opinion's very close to me.
We'll see. We'll see if we'll be proven incorrect.
I like Ana de Armas. I think she did really good in that one action sequence she had in James Bond.
And I keep forgetting.
That people keep forgetting about. I thought she was really good in that.
Jay remembers.
Maybe she can carry that all the way through Ballerina. I'll be satisfied.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just realized, not realized, but I just know John Wick's like in this, and I'm just going to be waiting for John Wick to show it.
It's a nonsense action flick.
It is it's nonsense.
I'm fine with that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And that's why I like John Wick.
Right.
I didn't have high expectations into seeing John Wick until I actually saw John Wick. I was like, wow, this is what this movie is about.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I'll go into it with an open mind.
There we go.
All right. Thanks for listening. If you like our show, please share it. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on our website, vaguelynerdypodcast.com, where you can leave us a voice message and we'll play it on the show if it's nice. If it's not nice, you'll get
canning it.
Yeah.
Canning it.
You can follow us on Threads and IG at Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, Blue Sky and Twitter at Vaguely Nerdy Pod. You can reach us at vaguelynerdypodcast@gmail.com. And if you are listening to us on a podcast app, you can also watch our animated show on YouTube, Vaguely Nerdy Podcast.
And if you want to give us a monetary donation, you can follow us or give money at Ko-fi.com/Vaguely Nerdy Podcast.
Until next time.
Bye.